Good evening all, welcome to my channel. Today we will discuss about one of the SCCM issues where we are modifying the task sequences, but those modifications are not getting reflected. Apart from that, if we are deleting some task sequence, those modifications are also not reflected. If we are deploying something, but those deployments are not visible. Let's say you created a new task sequence, but that task sequence is not available to the client. Why? What's happening? Okay, let's see one of the issue here. Now I have 3 task sequences here available to one of this client. Fine. Let's see in SCCM what are these task sequences. What is the deployment? It's not deployed task sequence 1, task sequence 2. That's also not deployed. Task sequence 3. Yeah, task sequence 3 is deployed. That means we should see only task sequence 3, right? Okay. Now let's see if we reset the machine, what happens. As per the rule, SCCM, we should see only task sequence 3. Let's see. Are we saying only task sequence 3, or if we see all the 3, that means there is some issue, right? Okay. Now we have only task sequence 3 which is deployed. Let's see, and we should see only task sequence 3. We should see only task sequence 3. No, but we are seeing here task sequence 1, task sequence 2, task sequence 3, all 3, right? Okay, now let's watch at task sequence 3 which is deployed. Task sequence 2 is not deployed. It should not be visible. Still it's visible. This is also visible. Let's see. Now edit. Now let's see. Okay, now we start here by restarting in WinP and then BIOS, UEFI, or we will partition the hard disk and then apply operating system. We will partition the hard disk first and then apply operating system. Fine. If task sequence 3 gets executed, it should partition first. Okay, now one of the fixes for this type of issue is there is something called SMS executive service, which will act as a executive, or which will act as a communication channel between site server and the cache server. Now this SMS executive service will carry the data from site server to the main server. Okay, this is my understanding. Let's see what is the status of this SMS executive. Get service SMS executive. Fine, it should be running. Oh, it stopped, right? Okay, now let's do one thing. Let's start this service. START. Let's start the service. Okay, now it's up. Fine. Now let's see. SMS executive. Yeah, it's running now. Okay, now we will again reset the machine, and as per our understanding, as now executive who transfers the data from site server to the cache server, it's running now. Now it should carry the data. That means it should say to the cache server that only task sequence 3 is visible. Why are you showing task sequence 1 and task sequence 2, right? Let's see. Later we will modify the task sequence 3 and see the magic. Now here it should get fixed, the issue. These task sequences which are not deployed, those are still visible, but here now issues should be fixed and those should not be visible. Let's see. Not more than a minute. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we have only task sequence 3. That means SMS executive is the service which is responsible for all this. Okay, fine. Now what we will do? We are having the task sequence 3 which formats the hard disk, right? First. Okay, now let's see. Will it format the hard disk? Yes, partitioning. It is partitioning the hard disk and then format the hard disk. Yeah, it's working fine as we expected. Okay, fine. Next, what we will do? Now we will modify the task sequence, and here we will not format the disk. Sorry, we will not partition the disk here. Okay. Yeah, my hard disk is HDD hard disk, therefore it will take little time. Just okay. Now what we will do? We will not partition this disk. We will not restart. We will disable this. Oh no, before disabling this, we'll stop this SMS executive service, because this is the one which actually transfers the data from. Okay, stop service executive. Fine. Okay, we have stopped the executive services. Fine. SMS agent executive. Oh, CCM exec is also stopped. We'll start. Sorry, we did a mistake now. We'll start both the service now. STAT start. Fine. Okay, now we will stop only this service which is responsible. Fine. Stop SMS executive service. This is the main service which transfers. Okay, now it is trying. Now we will modify the task sequence and we will see if we get those modifications at the task sequence end. Okay, by the time this stops, what we will do? We'll modify this. Okay, we will disable this. We will partition. We will disable this step again. Partition. We will disable this step again. Fine. We have only apply operating system for now. Okay. Now let's see the status of the services executive. Should stop SMS executive. Fine. Okay, we will modify the task sequence. Let's see what happens. Okay, now we will reset the machine here. Reset the machine. We will see if the task sequence is visible. Now what we will do? We will deploy one more task sequence here, and that should be visible, right? We will deploy task sequence 2. It is not deployed. We will deploy and we should check if it's visible or not. All unknown computers. Fine. Available. Fine. Fine. Okay, now we have deployed task sequence 2. Task sequence 2 should be visible to us now. Fine. Okay. Now let's see. No, task sequence 2 is not visible. That means still we have the issue. Fine. Now what we'll do? We have modified the task sequence, right? We have modified the task sequence, and what is there in the task sequence now? Edit. It should start from apply operating system. Let's see. We still have issue now. Task sequence 2 we have deployed. It's not visible. It should start from apply operating system. See, it is partitioning the disk. It is not working as per our modification. Here it is partitioning the disk, but what's what we have done here, we have commented the partition, but still it is doing that because what we have modified, it is not carried to the cache server. Fine. Therefore, to fix the issue, the same step, what we have to do, we have to start the service. We have to, okay, we will start start this service. My server is a bit slow here because it is running on HDD hard disk. Start service SMS underscore executive. Fine. Okay, now service started. Get service. Yeah, SMS executive is running now. Fine. Now since we have SMS executive running, now we will reset this again machine and we will check what should happen. Task sequence 2, which how many task sequences we have deployed, we will check once again. Task sequence 1, it's not deployed. Task sequence 2 is deployed. Task sequence 3 is deployed. We should see task sequence 2 and 3 here. Let's see. Oh no, let's reset. It was waiting for us, but we didn't click. Fine. Okay, now the setup. Okay, now task sequence 2, the modifications what we performed on task sequence 3, that means it should not partition or it should partition. What is the task? It should not partition, it should start from apply operating system. Fine, let's see. It should not partition, the disk, and it should show us only task sequence 1, task sequence 2. To summarize, SMS executive is the service which is responsible for any modifications you perform at the console or at any site. Yeah, task sequence 2 and task sequence 3 both are visible. Now it should not partition, it should apply. Yes, apply operating system. Yeah, that's good. Now we will meet in the next session with some more new issue with respect to SCCM that might be old for you, but I will be facing here in my environment the first time, in my new environment. Okay, chalo. See you again. Bye. Take care. Bye.